Yo, you. We back up in this thing. You can't roll with us if your last name don't got no loyalty. Podcast party poppin', but you already knew. I've been rolling with these folks. This that Monday night crew. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you.
Yo, what's happening, good people, man? Welcome back to another episode of Monday Night Crew. It's your boy K.Mims, the only spot you get authenticity and entertainment at the same time. We got the lady of the show right now, Miss Asia. What's happening?
Hey.
I got my bros, DJ J Dub, Louis B. What's happening?
What up, what up?
What up, man? We got a very special guest. I'm going to throw it over to my sister, introduce him, and we're going to get into this show tonight.
All right, y'all. So tonight we are in for a special treat. We have WolfgangJoc, Instagram handle, and came up on the scene really back in 2020, a police officer that ended up being terminated, right, just for speaking out back in 2020. And now businessman, right, on his page, always giving us motivation, dropping gems on a daily. So we are just super, super excited to welcome Joc to the Monday Night Crew. Hey, Joc.
Yes, I appreciate
What's
you
going
coming
on?
through,
I
bro.
appreciate y'all good people. What up, what up?
What's happening? What's happening?
All
I hope you're ready for this noise tonight, my guy.
right, let's get it. Let's get it.
All right, Asia, I'm throwing it to you. Let's go. You got it? Yeah, you good.
Yeah.
You good.
Okay, cool.
Right.
You know, I gotta check. Y'all know my service be acting up and it's storming.
Yeah.
But we keeping it rolling. All right, here we go. So we have a couple of rapid fire questions for you, Joc. Okay, you ready for it?
Okay.
Here we go. All right. Love at first sight, is it a real thing?
Yes, I believe love at first sight is 100% real thing. I'm a huge fan of what's the show? Love is Blind. I really even though that's not at first sight, but me, I grew up in the 2000s, like so big on the R&B. So I used to listen to songs, and if I seen you and I felt like we was in love, then we was in love. Like I do believe that love is true at first sight, for sure, 100%. 100%. Anybody that grew up in that era with the Jagged Edge, Pretty Ricky, and everything, we are built different. Different. So when we see somebody and we clicking, you're like, damn, I really,
Yeah.
Joc was doing good until you said Pretty Ricky. They didn't have any love songs like that, though.
Yes, they did.
Look.
Yes, they did, boy. Baby, grind on me.
Come on, man.
No.
Yeah. That was my type of love at first sight right there.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
Where my ladies at? Look, I'm not about to
the
deal
Pretty
with
Ricky
this all night.
ringtones on the church phone. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Oh,
All that noise, man.
talk about it.
For sure.
Okay. Next one. Here we go. Money can buy love. Can money buy love? What you think?
Nah. I think money could buy that temporary happiness, but not love, not the real thing. I don't think money could buy no love. You might act, with that temporary happiness, you might act like it's love. She might be doing love things because she's getting the bag from you, but yeah, money can't buy no love, not no real love.
Okay. Nothing from the peanut gallery over there. Y'all got nothing to say?
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Okay, nah. Just rapping. I'm gonna just keep moving.
In 2025, people think it can, but I don't think it can buy you love. I think it can gain you access, and then you can fall in love.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I wouldn't say so. The money is not our definition of love. Like my definition of love, the money ain't buying that. Money ain't buying that. But like you said, it can gain you access to to the room, but it ain't buying you that real genuine love. Nah.
For sure. So do you think? So, hey, Joc, do you think somebody can like somebody for the money, then fall in love?
For sure, 100%. Because your first impression of somebody, your intentions is like, if you going with them for the money, you like, all right, he got the bag, she got the bag, I'm gonna go over there. But then you start to learn that person and know that person and things like that. So you fall for them in a different way. So for sure, I believe it can happen that way. Yeah.
Okay, that's a bet.
Hey, Joc, I think completely opposite on that, man. I think like when it comes to if you start out with the money, I think once it goes, the love goes, man. It's like they love you as long as you're staying on that same level that you were. Me personally, I think like once that money diminishes, it's like, all right, let me find the next bag.
Look, and that is going to go with the type of female that you with, I guess. You feel what I'm saying? So if she came in the door for that bread and you lose that bread and she like that type of girl, then she's going 100%. Like, but if you get a real, I mean, it's hard to find a real genuine one these days because social media done screwed everything up. Like, so everybody's their vision is skewed with what they think a man's supposed to have and a man's supposed to do just from social media. So I definitely agree with your point. Like, if nowadays, I mean, if you get somebody and you with them for the bread and then they leave and they don't have no more money, you might want to step out and be like, well, I got to go to where the next bag at. But if you get somebody that's going to go through the rocks, the struggle with you, and she was with you without the money, when you had the, then when you got the money, like, so if you go back to not having the money, y'all just going back to square one. I don't think she's dipping if you got a genuine person like that.
Got you.
Yeah, I think the money thing get tricky, bro. I feel like it becomes a part of security. I don't think so like with social media, right? I think you have to lead with impressing people on social media. So that's what's going 9 times out of 10 get people.
100%.
I just don't know if the older you get, that money plays no factor at all. Like, I believe you can still find genuine love, but it's like you can't be a burden money wise. I don't think you got to have
100%
have a lot of money. I think it played in fact that way. Now, I also think some people are just transactional where the love is about them. Like, it's just about the bread.
Yeah,
we can do what we do here, and as long as the money is still what it is, we're gonna be good regardless. Money get tricky, bro. Money get tricky to me.
It does, especially when you get to a point where life is just going. We getting older, like, so if you in a position where, well, you have to be in a position now where the money is a security. So I get what you're saying. I get if they feel like the female feel like she isn't secure anymore in her position because you don't have the money, so you can't take care her way of life, whether it's what she likes or just her genuine her general necessities. I can see her leaving for that too as well. But like I said, I just feel like it comes down to the female that you with. Like, it's like you going to rock with me here, you going to rock with me all the way through it, and then so we can get to a point where we winning. But
it's easy to fall in love in first class.
This man, hey Lewis, what you want tonight, bro?
That's a fact.
I'm telling you,
that's a fact.
That's true. That is, I'll give you that one, Lewis. All right, so we got 2 more, y'all. 2 more.
Okay.
So couples who argue are less likely to stay together. You think that's real or no?
False.
No,
Lord, that's false. Like, look, I've been with my wife since I was 18 years old. I'm 34 years old right now.
Okay.
Went through the struggle. Now, granted, when we was young kids at 18, 19, 20, those are back and forth like cats and dogs. And you did, at that time, being young, you did want to leave. That's the first thing you like, oh, I'm about to get up out of here. But I think now, now, of course, we argue less, but when we do argue, I don't look at it the same way I look at it back when we was 18, 19, 20, whatever. Right now, it's like, that's the queen. Like, we ain't going nowhere, right? We ain't going nowhere. So we going to lock in and we going to figure this thing out, So, you can argue. Yes, if you're arguing every day, that can put a strain on the relationship. And then, of course, people don't want to be there arguing every day. But like I said, when we do argue, and yes, we do argue, when we do argue, it's like, it's not as big to me as it was when I was young. Like, when I was young, I felt like it was an excuse to be like, all right, well, forget her. Like, I'm up out of here. I'm going to do what I want to do. Now it's like, nah, you figure this out. It's more stuff in play, more stuff hanging a balance at this point. Like, so I definitely don't feel, depending on how much you arguing, I guess I should say.
Okay.
Yeah, I just argued today. So
Look.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like it ain't. I think. I think for me. I think for me, it's like I realized I've been with my wife for a long time too. I've been with her since I was 19. So for me, it's this. Like I have a argument is a strong word, right? We got into it. I didn't say we argue, but
Yes.
I think that like for me, I got a goal of why I'm saying what I'm saying. When I was younger, I'm just trying to be heard. I feel a
For
way.
sure.
Now I'm like, hey, look, I gotta say what I'm about to say, love, because I'm trying to get to the end goal, but I gotta tell you how I feel. And I think she know I'm intentional with what I'm trying to say, and it's okay to get through the emotion and be like, all right, but this was the point of me saying it though.
For sure.
Yeah. But we gonna, you know what I'm saying?
That's good.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Lewis said it's a little tough to argue in first class. So, you know.
Hey, look, you'll be in first class. She still want to argue.
Yeah.
So first class, she still want to argue.
Like, why your seat by mine?
Why you got the window seat? I want the window seat. You get the window seat when we taking off. I get it when we land. Yeah, you want to argue. You want to argue.
Yeah.
To Kevin's point, I think once you understand the intentions behind each other, because I'm I was young and married to, right? And my wife and I, we matured together. But once we were able to understand what each other's intentions were, it made it easier to stay. Because Joc, that was my initial instinct, is to remove myself or leave the environment. But once we were able to truly understand what the intentions are, and we started to learn one another, I think it made those conflicts a bit more healthier. And I think it's dangerous to not argue, because I think people aren't being forthcoming about how they truly feel. I think that's more dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Look, like you said, y'all matured together. We did the same thing. So before being young, when I was younger, I'm still stubborn. But when I was younger, I was much more stubborn. I got to a point, I'm gonna tell you a cheat code. I got to a point where I started winning the battle inward instead of outward. So when I locked it in my mind that I already won this, but I'm gonna let her go off, then it pushed me to apologize first. When I started apologizing first, that was a game changer. Because then she started to empathize with my apology, and then now it's like a race to see who's gonna apologize first. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm in my mind, I'm like inward, I'm like, I won this already. Like I won. Now maybe in her mind she probably feel like, oh no, I won. But in my mind, without me saying, I'm like, I won. So that helped me cope with that got me to that place first where I'm like, I could be the bigger person first, like, because women are very, very stubborn. Good Lord, like very, very stubborn.
Yeah.
Look,
Can you turn his mic up?
Yeah.
I mean,
For the people in the back.
Asia, you picked a bad night to be Dolo.
Every single time, yo. Every single time.
I'm not gonna lie. Asia, because you by yourself and you my dog. I ain't gonna double down on what you just said. But let me tell you,
don't do it.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
Well,
go ahead, Asia. I'm leaving it alone.
So to answer the question, I think you should definitely having somebody that doesn't argue. That is scary. I agree with that, Lewis. But like you and Kenan said, being very intentional. And one thing that I learned that was a big game changer for me was to not be so defensive. When you go into a situation and you just on defense mode, you're just looking for you trying to offend me this way. And it's in reality, it's like, no, they're just expressing how they feel. And if you listen, then you can understand that. I mean, she's telling you the same thing over and over for real. So it becomes redundant. That gets irritating over time.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Last thing I would say about it also. First of all women are not stubborn. Just want to throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes men do provoke women as well. I think that happens. And I also think, to some of y'all's point though, I think you talk about like being with your person from a young age, right? I think there is a grace period just around like, all right, we're both young. We're going to argue about random stuff. For me, if I get married tomorrow, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not going toe to toe with you. We're not having certain discussions. We're just not. Oh, yes. We're just not, right? Because I feel like we're too old. to be like, what are we arguing for? We could have discussions, sure. You can have your opinion, I can hear you out, and vice versa. But for us to be arguing, that to me, that's like old and tired.
Asia, come on, you listen. I gotta object.
That man say,
oh, what?
Because
yo, you
what?
wild, bro. What?
I'm gonna have to object. Okay, Asia's typically pretty logical, but I'm going to throw a wrench in this perspective.
Yeah, I love to hear this.
Sometimes we come like you can say that because you are emotionally mature and you do the work, but when you're with someone every day, you'd be surprised what is going to trigger you or them to challenge or what you would argue about. You know what I'm saying? Like as much work as I like to think I do on me, there are days where I'm a bit more vulnerable and we end up arguing about the seat in first class or something that petty. So you could come into it thinking it's not going to be the case, but when you're around someone every day, you don't know where you're going to land. I'm not trying to project that onto you, but typically that happens.
That's exactly what you're doing.
Well, you did do exactly.
I didn't want to.
But I hear you, bro.
Exactly what you're doing, sir.
And you're right. I can't speak from experience, but for me, in my mind, me being 30 something, I'm not going to have the same arguments that I would when I'm 18, 19. Like for me, that just doesn't.
I give you that. I give you that.
That's a fact. Yeah.
But when I'm not giving it. If you're around someone every day, there's going to be a day you're like, wow, why did that even bother me?
I definitely think you're going to. One, I can say this: if there was a time like after me and my wife that is like I'm with somebody, I'm not giving you the same grace that I gave her since she was 18 years old. I'm not doing it. I'm just not giving you the same grace that I gave her to knowing that she was growing and learning herself, and we both were. We get in this and we mid-30s. It's like, all right, you gotta lock in. You got to lock in. Yes, we're going to argue. Yes, 100%, we're going to argue. But certain things, like I can take my wife being petty because she earned that to be petty. She put in that amount of work to be petty. Like, so I'm going to take it every single time, no matter what, So, but moving forward, if it was something after this, I'm not giving you the same grace on certain arguments and things like that. But I guess that plays into like how you feel about the person, like because you'll get with somebody that it's people that just want to pick arguments, always want, they just want to argue, like whether it's male or female, they just feel like they want to, like, people love, I love arguing. Like you see the dumb social media posts people be putting up and they're like, if I'm not arguing with him, I don't want to. What are you doing? Like, what? You're gonna argue? Let it. It's going to be arguments, but don't, like, yeah, I'm not just getting with somebody. Well, I'm not just giving a grace to someone who just want to argue all the time for no apparent reason, just to see me upset or just to feel like they're on top or they won a conversation and things like that. So yeah.
Could that be someone's love language?
Arguing?
What?
That's crazy. That's crazy. Man.
Hey, what you on, bro? Man,
Paul, y'all didn't see Aaron the plumber where he was in that environment and that girl confronted him and he melted. He ended up picking the girl that confronted him.
Look, that's a conversation to some. That's some stupidity, but that's some deep trauma right there. Yeah, that's some how you was, like, because some people, a lot of you grow up in a household and you have a mom or a dad that that they're supposed to love you, but they talk to you like SHIT, right? And that's your form of love. So you like, oh my goodness, like my mom, that's my mom. She loved me even though she spoke to me like this. So when you get with somebody, you like, oh, my dad, he loved me even though he spoke to me like this. So when you get with somebody and they are the same way, you find comfort in it because you like, well, the person that was supposed to love me first, right? That was my first love, spoke to me like this, right? So it's like they're not doing nothing wrong. They, that's deep. That's some deep trauma. Like I'm telling you that right there. That's some stuff you got to work out where you get excited to, for somebody to treat you like,
Yeah. So, and last thing I'm gonna say before we get into these video reactions is I just feel like pettiness is like immaturity. I feel like it ain't nothing but immaturity, bro. I ain't gonna lie. And let me be honest, I don't know how to be petty. Like I don't get the purpose of it. It's like I was about to say something about women again. I'm sorry, Asia.
Thank you.
Oh.
I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there.
You don't know how to be petty?
I'm not sure I don't know how to be petty. It doesn't cross my mind. Like if something happened, my thing is not like, oh, let me, you know what? No, I'm gonna get you. Nah, I feel like that's almost a sickness. But let's get into these video reactions. All right, recently on the Breakfast Club, it's Felicia Rashad, right? Came on. She was talking about how younger women, the way they dress, the way they present themselves, things of that nature, and a TikToker has something to say. We're gonna watch the video and then get into it.
Okay.
Older women try to give. It always circles back to being about a man. No disrespect to Felicia Rashad. I respect that lady. I think she's beautiful. She's talented. She's everything. But she is a pick-me also. I already peeped the game when she was riding for Bill Cosby. I don't feel like getting into all of that. But she was on the Breakfast Club and she was talking about the way that women dress today. Now, she's entitled to her opinion. That's totally fine. And I was okay with the message until she said, and most importantly, no man wants a woman that dresses whatever way they were talking about. Why is that the most important element when it comes to how a woman is dressing? And why don't people understand that not all women date men? There are some women that don't date men. There are a lot of women out here that have opted out of dating entirely and don't care about what a man want to see her in. Why does everything older women say always have to go back to a man? I don't understand that. They need to reprogram their minds. They need to reprogram their minds. Like, it's 2025. We work too hard to have autonomy, to always have to be connected to what a man likes and what a man doesn't like. If y'all constantly keep saying, oh, men don't like when women dress like this, men don't like when women wear their hair like this, wear lashes, wear makeup, this or whatever, and a woman is still doing those things that a man doesn't want, wouldn't that tell you that we don't fucking care? Coco and Ice-T, she dressed however she wants to dress. She do whatever she want to do, and he's been married to her for how long? There are plenty of men that don't be getting in women's business like that. They don't care about policing women and trying to control a woman's every move. Y'all be the ones who try to control everything y'all women do because y'all are insecure and y'all care about the public's perception of you. And like I said, I would be totally fine with the message if she kept it about the women and themselves. But to constantly always have to bring something back to a man, it's crazy. It's getting old. It's been old.
Hey man. I'm a Joc, you the guest on the show, brother. I'm gonna go to you first, and then we're gonna circle back after that. I got something to say.
Look, this has always been like a tough topic where, you know, I get where she's coming from, where she's saying like all women are not doing things just for the men, right? You know, I guess they want to do it for themselves or for whoever else. I don't agree with the fact that I'd never agree with the fact that, oh, policing what she wears or policing this because you're insecure. I think that's just cat. Like I just think I think women use that as an excuse to do what they want to do and wear what they want to wear. Respect me. If I'm outside in gray sweats all day long hanging and then you like how you gonna feel about that? Like you out no, I'm telling you, like it's the truth. Like, because at the end of the day, it's like I want you to look beautiful. I love it. Yes, that's fine. Like, do what you do, but let's have some respect for each other. You know, like it's guidelines to how you should go out looking and things like that, you know, and then they rave over the guy that lets they're out with their woman and she's naked basically, like there's no more imagination. So you know, a bunch of guys that already from the time she walk in the door, you undressing her straight from the door. Straight from the door.
Sure.
You want somebody to be objectifying and looking at your woman like that and trying to pass it off like, oh, I'm secure. Bro, lock in. Like that have some type of respect for yourself. Like, and this I'm talking about for the men. Have some type of respect for yourself. Now, her wearing what she want to wear, like I'm never going to be like, oh, she dressed like this. Like, you grown. Wear what you want to wear. But mines, we got to do something different. You know, like you gotta have some type of, because you gotta have some type of respect for yourself. Because if I'm going to be out here, because we can both do the same thing, right? Not saying that in a petty way, but if the shoe was empathize with me, if the shoe was on the other foot, and I'm out here looking like this, you don't want no girl to be. The internet is crazy now. You post something up in some pajama pants, some gray sweatpants. It's cooked. Your man is the internet's now, right? You're done. The man is the internet's now. So you got to think about that from that standpoint as well. Like, you feel me? So yes, I mean, dress the way that you want to dress, that makes you happy and makes you feel beautiful, but just have some respect with it. That goes both ways, because we in the era now where guys out here thirst trapping. Yeah, you're a man and you out here thirst trapping. Like, so yeah. I mean, it goes both ways, you feel me? So
Jay be doing that. Y'all follow him on IG, he be doing that.
So I definitely I mean, I agree with her point of, we got to get out that thought of that every woman is not just doing this for a man, right? It's a lot of things that can play a part. You won't be doing it for a man, but then you could be doing it for yourself. You could be doing it for social media. You could be doing it for, that's a lot of stuff. Like, everybody want to be perceived a certain way. Everybody want to have the best body. Everybody want to act like they got this gym routine. Like I said, it goes both. It goes both ways. Like, so even if you're not doing it for a man, who are you really doing it for? You feel me? Who are you really doing it for?
Yeah,
you know. So
we got a comment. Steve, since they said men know that women aren't doing it for us, got to stay out the business that does not serve me. Can't be scared of the internet. So I'm going to go. I agree with Joc in the sense that, like, we represent, when you got a lady, y'all represent each other. I'm cool with that.
For sure.
I'm going to say this, man.
No.
Nah, come on, man. Don't do me
like that. Talk to him. Like that, bro. Talk to him.
It is the absolute truth that we judge the outfit that we see, and we make a judgment call based on those things. Now, I'm not getting into if it's fair or not. If you and look, there's a way to show skin and me not think that. It's all about how you show it. Like, typically this come down to showing skin, right? It's a way to show that, to still do your thing, show your body.
For sure.
Is it right for me to judge? No. Does the mind go there? Yes. And I hate when people act like that doesn't play a factor. That's like the dude that's in the club every Friday night. He's like, yo, I'm looking for love, dog. But every Friday night, I'm in the same spot doing the same thing, hunting. I'm hunting every single day. You understand what I mean? Like, nah, dog, that's not one of those things where what up? That's not one of those things. There's not one of those things where it matters. And I'm gonna say this. It's not, Felicia Rashad's not being a pick-me, dog. She's really telling you the truth of how most men think. And my question would be, if all men said that, would it still be valid? Would you still say, if every dude said, nah, we look at you this way, would it matter then? Because I can't find one that don't got a lady that's like, oh no, dress any type of way, show everything you want, I'm still gonna want you. No. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening.
It's not happening.
It's not. Jay Lewis, what y'all think, bro?
I think
you wanted to show that. Never mind.
I think Felicia Rashad definitely not a pick me. Let's start with that.
Mm-hmm.
To piggyback off what Joc was saying, I think that her calling like a man insecure because he doesn't want her out there that revealing and all that stuff. No, that's just a man with self-respect. And you don't have enough respect for your man in that instance if you're going outside like that. You can be sexy in different ways. You can, and another thing that she said that kind of, I was like, okay. She said that we're not doing this for men, right? We're not doing this for men. We're not. Okay, so if you're doing it for women, whatever. So you putting on a see-through dress with just some tape over your titties, right? You saw yourself in the mirror before you left. So who you really doing it for? You knew what you had on. So all this, oh, we're doing this for us. Man, you can miss me with all that. You want the attention from somebody, whether it's male, female, indifferent, whoever. You know what I mean? But I just can't get down with this. It's 2025. We need to listen. Just have some respect. Moral of the story. All that lady was saying was have some respect for yourself. And if you do have a partner, have some respect for your partner.
Asia.
So yeah, let me couple things.
Yeah.
I actually agree with what y'all are saying, right, from your perspectives, right? But I do want to address certain things that she was saying in the video, because here's the thing, like I also do not believe that Felicia Rashad is a pick me, right? I think that when it comes down to who was sending the message, right? So for instance, she brought up Ice-T and Coco. If Coco were to say that same thing, I would have an issue with it, because it's Coco saying it. She dresses how she wants to dress, right? That, and then to then try to police how women dress, that would be a whole different story. It's coming from Felicia Rashad, the internet's mama, who is known for being classy and graceful. She is speaking exactly the way that she should be based on her character, right? And so, and I also have a challenge with, it's like if the shoe don't fit, keep it pushing, right? She's obviously not. She is coming from a what we'll call like a heteronormative lens, right? So of course it would not relate to women that date other women, right? It would not relate to women that are trying to seek attention from the male gaze, right? And to be honest, just so y'all know, sometimes women really don't dress for men. A lot of times we really do dress for ourselves and also for other women. For example, when I'm getting dressed, I'm not hitting up some dude, I'm hitting up my girls. When I'm going out, I'm not looking to dudes. I'm looking for that compliment from shorty across the room, right? And it's like, yeah, see, I did put this on, right? So sometimes it's really about, yes, us, but also for the female gaze as well. So there were some things that y'all said that I was like, I agree with, and there's also some other things that she did say in the video that I do think are also valid, right? But I think when it comes to a respect thing in a relationship between a man and a woman, right? I think that it should be certain things that are just like, like if you feel free and however you want to dress, like even with Kanye and whoever he's with, he dresses them most of the time. And to the outside looking in, it's like, why would she wear that? Meanwhile, her man is like, yeah, that's mine. You know what I'm saying? So
So
I think
Asia,
it's different.
Asia, you don't never walk in the house like I'm about to kill these niggas when I walk in this thing right now.
Yeah, for sure. That definitely happens. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. What I'm saying is, because y'all are only speaking from the space of women dressing for men. Like it is a thing. Like y'all can't be dressing for yourselves. I'm just letting y'all know that's not true. Like, yes, there are times that when we're going out, if we are going out, it's like to look good for men. Yeah. And then there are also times that we're not paying them any mind. I'm going out with my girls to look good with my girls.
Okay. Lewis, you mighty quiet, bro. What's your thoughts, bro?
I hated the video.
Okay. Go ahead, bro.
I get Asia's point. I'll just piggyback. Men, we dress for ourselves. I'm not dressing to get a compliment from, you know what I mean, the opposite sex all the time. Sometimes I'm dressing to feel important and feel empowered. What I'm starting to see a lot of, what I think is, and I really don't like it, is the disassociation between men being the goal, right? A relationship being a goal, because the same expectations that she alluded to about, you don't do this because you want to be able to get a man, or you want the right type of man, etc. We deal with those same things. It just looks differently, right? We have to have a good job. We need to drive a nice car. We got to have ourselves together. We're not sitting up here complaining about that, right? You got to make sure you're clean cut. You want to create the opportunity for you to be able to make a choice, or to attract the woman in which you desire, right? So I think we all have those things and expectations that come with gender, but to criticize generations before, or people who maybe perhaps think differently than you, I think is immature. I think it's unreasonable. I think that I don't know where we I'm really getting upset. I really don't know where we are in a society where that is such a big deal now. Like, that's such a big issue. I get the point of everything you do being tied to someone else, or to an opposite sex. And I think for a long time, women didn't have the voice or the platform that they have now. But I feel like where we're getting to now is such a we've it's kind of had so much of an effect to where we're now on a total opposite side of it. I don't know how to phrase it. I'm trying to find the right words, but I feel like we've shifted so far from what the norm used to be as a part of the resistance to what was maybe before.
Yeah. Like, and Lewis, I could piggyback on that, man. They be lying. They lying, man.
Say it again.
They lying.
They is in whom?
They man, I ain't so you everybody get me caught up in that.
Who's lying though? Who's lying, Keenan?
Hey, Asia, we partners, dog. Like, come on now. You know, like this is my thing. Hey, look, I'll jump out there.
Say it.
I'll jump out there. I feel like if you single, hey, look, respect to the video. If you're a single woman and you out and about doing your thing, you dress a certain way, you are trying to get attention. You are out looking. I'm not saying I'm not saying there's an insecurity. I'm not saying you don't love yourself. I ain't saying self-care day. I ain't getting into all that shit. But what I am saying is when people putting on this stuff going outside, they're looking to seek attention from somebody that could be a potential partner. Whatever that partner may be, whether it be sex, whether it be a relationship, whether it be buddies, whatever that case may be, you're going there in certain environments to look for that. And if you look like this all the time, a guy is going to judge you.
Yeah.
They are. If you look one way all the time, it's not like I stepped out and wore this. You wearing the same thing all the time, and I ain't got all I got. I literally don't have to think about what you look like naked. That's crazy.
That's insane.
It is crazy, but let me throw something in real quick. That is crazy. But Lewis, you said something that was very powerful. The dynamic has like changed drastically, right? So she is disconnected from the older generation because at that time the goal was to find a man, to find a, you know what I mean, like to present yourself in a way to where that was the goal of the relationship. And I think now it's more so like trying to prove that I don't need a man to define who I am as a person. So now because it's so far, like you said, the far on both ends of the spectrum, that's where the disconnect came from with the Felicia Rashad video. She's speaking from her experiences in that time to where it was about showing respect for yourself because the goal was to make sure I presented myself to a decent man. Now it's like, oh, I don't need him. I got the degrees, the money. We don't need all that.
But that's the problem. You do. That's the problem, though.
Well, that's
right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand on that because we need each other. We need our women. You know what I'm saying? But it's true, and I feel like, man, I'm glad Princess ain't on right now. Megan Thee Stallion is the same one that sit here and talk about what she don't need and all this and this independent stuff that she gets on trial and cries about all the men that she got exposed to being with, right? But when she creates this persona to where that's okay, but then you crying about people knowing how many men you've been with for real. What kind of message are we sending? You got people eating that up, you know, but you that same person, you know, that's promoting this nonsense. To me, I think that we have gotten so far away from what reality is, and now people's expectations are unrealistic. And then as a black man, I really feel it, man. Like as a black man, I feel like we are being so undervalued, right? Because our women have done some incredible things and educated themselves and really pulled themselves up from some very, very difficult places to get to where they are. But to the point now where I feel like we are being literally disrespected. To where if I sat here and said getting a good black man is the goal, well, I don't need a black man. When has that ever been the case? When has that ever been the case? What kind of sense does that make? You don't hear any other race talking like that but ours. Sorry, I went dad mode. My bad.
No, you good.
And look.
No, go ahead, Joc.
Let's be clear, right? When we are talking about the way that a woman is dressing, right, and it being appropriate to it being inappropriate, we are talking about, when it comes to inappropriate, we're talking about the skanky look. Let's be real. Like you wear a whole netted see-through dress with pasty. Come on, that's different. Like that's entirely different. We're not telling you not to have your little belly showing or whatever the case is, like, but we're talking about when they are talking about the way that women dress and them being quote unquote devalued or looked at a certain way because of the way that they're dressing. It's the ones when you go outside and you naked, you look naked. Like, why can I see the lips of anything that you have through what you through what you're wearing, a bodysuit, and then your you got piercings and you like you out there, like it's entirely different. Like it's the way to do stuff with class, and I get the fact that she could be dressing for herself, just for herself, but where have we gotten to where you want to wake up in the morning and think like, I'm just really not going to wear nothing. I want to be like, where's your shyness? Where's your like, oh my goodness, like you feel me? Like, where's for you, not for a man, for you? Where's that at for you? Where's that? These guys ain't about to be looking at me like this. Like I'm gonna hold it down. I'm gonna be classy. It's gonna be right. Now, like I said, nobody's not telling you not to show your skin or anything like that. Do what you do. But we are talking about you see that you got a thong on type thing, a little netted Jamaican shirt with the breast is there and it's only covering your nipples. That's crazy. I don't care what you say. That is insane. Like that right there is insane. It's like you gotta forget about the man, think about yourself. Like you gotta have that much class for your own self to be like, I'm not like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be cute, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it in a different way. But I ain't about to be out here and be naked like I'm in bra and panties, like you outside, like you at the beach, like you outside regular in the club, like you at the beach, like insane.
Asia, go ahead. I know you're ready. Go ahead, Asia. I know you're ready to go off. Go ahead. Take off.
I'm not gonna go off. I'm not, but I do think that is interesting. Because on one hand, I really, 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 really believe and I agree with what y'all are saying, right? I'm playing devil's advocate, and I'm also just speaking from a different lens and perspective, right? So, for example, you then have, let's say, the folks that really, for real, when you talk about like, what do they think about that, or what about for themselves? For some people, it really is like, yeah, I am doing this for myself. This is my moral compass. If I want to dress like this for me, knowing that attention will come, right? Because I think the point also is that people that dress that way are not ignorant to the fact that they are going to get looks from people, the fact that they're going to have people that don't like the way that they dress, the fact that they are going to get attention. It's not that they don't know that that's going to happen. It's the fact that they don't care. They don't care. It's like, yeah, sure, look, do whatever you want to do, or whatever the case may be, but to the point. And sometimes we have this part of this conversation just around like, yeah, but if I was at the beach, right, wearing the same thing, but then people's argument be, well, it's the time and space, right? It's like the environment for it. Well, some people have now said, well, I want to feel like I'm at the beach all the time. And so it comes down to, if that's how they feel, if they're at a place where they sincerely don't care, then there are going to be people within that space that rock with that. We are clearly we're not the people that's saying that, but I think people dress how they want to dress. And there's a whole community of people that rock with it.
Respect. All I'm saying is
you don't respect that.
And I do. People can dress how they want. But my thing is, this is where I be going south. Like in that, and I agree that people do think like that. But you're literally saying people are dressing like this, knowing they're going to get attention. How is that for you?
If I walk out, no, straight up. If I decide, right, to comb out my locks, to dye my hair pink, purple, and white, I'm doing it for me because I wanted to dye my hair that way. But I know when I walk out that door, somebody's got to have an opinion about it. I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it because I want to, still knowing that a comment or whatever is going to come. So to your question, that's exactly how some people are. It's like, yeah, sure, I know people are going to look. I know people are going to stare. Oh, well, I'm not doing it for their approval.
Your hair. Uh-oh, Lewis, you're worse. Uh-oh, Lewis. Hey, what up, Princess? What's happening? Hey, Asia, but this is what I'm saying.
Y'all
though.
talk about me?
Absolutely. No. Well, Lewis was. Hey, but this is what I'm saying, Asia. Your hair, you dyeing your hair is not going to make him not approach. It's not going to make him judge you in the same manner that she was saying.
You're coming from a place, though, of your end goal, to what Shorty was saying in the video, your end goal, though, is saying that the end goal would be to then get married. So let's say there's somebody that's asexual that don't want to get married to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And they,
that's not who Felicia Rashad was talking to.
No, I understand that. I'm answering your question, though. I'm saying there are some people, to her point, that really is not their goal. Like, for instance, if I'm single and I'm not looking to date right now, my goal then is not to say, okay, whenever we go to the podcast party, let me get dressed to find my future mate. If I know for myself right now, I'm not in a season where I want to be dating. If that's not a goal of mine right now, that's not going to be the first thing on my mind.
Okay, so okay, I got you. So Matt, what up, Matt? Appreciate you typing in, bro. Say, why do women in a relationship want outside attention?
That's Aisha Curry.
That's it. Can I say something? Because I've literally, first of all, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm the stubborn woman that Joc was talking about earlier. That's why I hopped on, because I heard that statement and I refuse to let it fly without me saying anything. So I am currently the stubborn woman. However,
yeah.
I'm good, y'all. I'm in a good space. Just know that. I will say this, just to Matt's question here, like, I feel like it's the same concept of men's egos getting stroked, right? Like, it could be an egotistical thing. Y'all need stuff to feed y'all egos. It's the same way. Like, maybe women genuinely desire attention. They thrive off of that. They thrive off of that. That's just a part of who they are.
Mm-hmm. Why do women in a relationship want outside attention?
I just answered it.
She did.
I ain't hear the answer.
She definitely just answered it.
She said they thrive off attention. But what you just did is you owned it. Most people say it's something else other than that, and masking it as something totally different. But you just owned it. And yeah, men, we like our ego stroked. I've said it. So yeah, I totally agree with that.
Man, Sensei said, I think it's more expression instead of attention. And then Queen Field, appreciate you tapping in. Attention is given, single or not. So I think the only thing with Matt's question that I'll tap into is like want outside attention versus if it happens. I think any attention can be validating even if you're not seeking it. But wanting it is a whole nother bag to me. Just a whole nother bag.
Are we only talking about from like the opposite sex?
I brought up the idea of that women, sometimes when we dress for the female gaze, not necessarily for the male gaze. For example, like, I'm not trying to be the ugly one in my pictures with my girls. I'm just not.
Right.
So if I know all my girls are putting it on, I'm not about to go out here looking bummy and crazy. I'm really just not. I'm not about to sit here and be the ugly friend.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm not. The reason why I asked is because I'm just thinking about me wanting attention, not necessarily from other men, but just like, if I feel like I'm looking good, I would love for someone to validate me. Like, it does, like, if my man, great, but like, let's just say if I post something on Instagram or someone sees me in person, a compliment will be nice because I put time and effort into looking this good. So it's not necessarily like it's going to be the end of my world if I don't get a compliment. But yes, that definitely does boost me. Absolutely. And it doesn't matter whether it comes from a female or a male.
You have on nice glasses tonight, Princess. I like them.
Thank you.
Hey, somebody get
yeah, I really struggle with the want part. Asia, I really do agree with what you're saying. To answer your question, I don't care what picture I take with my friends. That ain't got nothing to do with what I wear. None of that. For me, that what Matt was asking was from the opposite sex. And I'll go out on the limb and say this. I think that's only really applicable to women for real. I hope guys don't go out saying, man, I'm gonna want to do the that man, like, hey, bro, you killing it tonight. I don't think that's a goal.
That's a good point. I don't really think it's I don't really think I can see females doing it, but I don't really think guys is like, I want my boy. But we different though. I don't think guys thinking like, I want my boy to be like, dang, bro, you threw it on. Like, you feel me? So I don't really.
What? I don't believe y'all. I'm
not. I'm getting dressed for my boys. Like, yeah, we not doing that.
The shoe game.
I ain't about to be like
with shoes. Yes.
I was just about to say that.
With shoes, yes, it's different. With
I feel like y'all do, and I've literally heard in movies and other places where men will be like, "I'm gonna hit him with this one." Now I don't know what that means. Cause I'm not a dude.
Wait, say it again. Age, you went out.
I'm gonna hit him with this one.
I can tell you right now who them is.
That's
I
sometimes
looking for the
I'm
Yes.
hitting with this.
them ain't guys.
That's who them is.
Yeah, them ain't guys in that case, Asia. I can guarantee you that. Hey, we got a couple of comments. A lot of women who naturally look good don't want to have attention. They're just going to get it because God has blessed them. A lot of women look super good, don't always want attention, for real, for real. The lies you tell, men be stunting on people too. Men definitely get dressed for the approval of their bros. I don't know about that one.
Nah.
I was just about to say something bad.
Their shoes, their haircut, their fits, all that. I grew up with 3 brothers and seeing how men get down.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
look, let me tell you something. Getting dressed for your bros when we in high school and it's a fashion show type vibe, that's different. Like 19, 20, 20 I'm not getting dressed for you. Like my wife like how I look. I'm chilling. I like how I look. I'm not getting at this point in life right now. I'm not getting dressed for you. Yes, I see you growing up with your brothers and you see your brothers like, oh, I'm gonna get dressed like this. My boy gonna wear this. That's young in the house type stuff. Like we young. Like that's what we care about. Like, but growing up and maturing, I'm not about to get dressed for my guys. Like, yo, I threw this on for you. You like this? Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
But
so y'all say y'all get dressed for yourselves, but when we say we get dressed for ourselves, it can't be that way.
I said I don't get. See, no, Asia, no. I was trying to go to the next video.
Right? Look, it's not. It's okay. Situation varies, right? When I put something on, like I'll be literally excited. I don't even want to step out the room until I know my wife is out there. Like I want her to be like, I know the look where she know like, oh, all right, yeah, you looking, where you about to go? Like type vibe. Like, so that's the point right now where I'm at. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but
I agree.
Most of the time, like sweatshirts, black shirt, sweatpants, black shirt, I'm outside. That's it. Like, I'm not about to, you feel what I'm saying? Like if I get dressed for the occasion. So if it's an event, of course, I want to look nice at the event, of course. Like, so I'm gonna go to the event like that. But as far as like I mean, like I said, the situation varies because if you got somebody and you locked in, of course I'm not getting out there and then trying to go get dressed for other women. It was a point in life where it was like that, where you wanted to, where it was just, I guess you could say other women because social media, like you get to a point where you're like, well, I gotta post this fit on social media. This fit crazy. Like I'm gonna get crazy likes. People gonna be boom, boom. You feel what I'm saying? But I mean, can't speak for everybody. For me, I just got to a point where I could have the stupid fits on and don't even post them on social media. Like I'm just like, yeah, it is what it is. Like, yo, that's where I'm at now. Like,
hey, I'm gonna tell you, I got
people.
Go ahead, Joc. I'm sorry, brother. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I get what people, like I said, the situation, it varies because it's different. But for me, speaking from my perspective, like I'm just at that point, not saying that everybody at this time in life is at that point, like, and it's not saying that that's a point that you got to get to. Like, I'm just saying that for me, I be dressing for my wife. I get to a point where I like to look nice or whatever. But it used to be a point where I wanted to, where I was getting a fit and you thinking like, oh, I'm about to put this on social media. Yes, I was there before, for sure. I was there before, but now it's like, I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be. Like you will see the fit in passing if you see the fit. So
can I just pose a question, I guess, to the men? So do y'all specifically, well, Brittany can answer this too. Do y'all only get dressed for your spouses? Like, is that the only person that you have in mind when you put that shit on? That you want their approval and you ain't trying to impress nobody else?
Yeah, I think
if it's in the back of your mind. Like,
I'm not getting dressed for nobody else. Yeah. I ain't getting dressed for nobody. I'm gonna tell you this, right? This is a fact, right?
Myself and everybody else.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
it's for everybody. Everybody.
I'm getting dressed for everybody.
Yeah, see, I'm not
on that
my man don't like it the best, but everybody
on a day-to-day basis, right? On day-to-day basis, you get to, you dressing, whatever. But if it's an event and you go into an event, of course you want to, your ideas like, I want to look nice at this event. Like I want to look nice at this. So I guess that could fall in that place where they gonna see me at this event, at this event thing, like, and I'm gonna throw it on, like. But I guess on the just normally, like, yeah, just for my spouse, just for myself. But I feel what you're saying, Princess. Just definitely, if I'm going to an event, I gotta put it on. I'm going to a live podcast, I gotta put it on. Like it's just, and it goes to branding too as well, right? Like you get to a point where like you hear on social media and first time people get to see you and things like that. So you gotta lock in. You gotta lock in. You gotta lock in with it. Like so, yeah. I mean, I definitely feel like.
Yeah. Princess, I think yeah. I think my wife first. I think where I'm at. So I was gonna say something to debunk what to be real. So I think when we were younger and we used to wear like church clothes to the club, that was a little crazy. That couldn't have been for that had to be for other people. That was a little insane. We used to when we used to be in them slacks and shit. My wife used to be like, "Hey man, what the fuck is y'all doing, man?
Is crazy."
Hey, bro, and we thought we was killing them too. We was killing them. So hey, look, shoes
was for the time.
Hey, Princess, shoes all leather be all messed up from the soda and drinks on the floor. You go to church looking like you done did it.
Man, crazy.
Boy, y'all should have seen Jay with them boot cut slacks, boy. They didn't tell him nothing.
Church clothes crazy.
No. But I would say to answer your question, I would say definitely for my wife, because I'm gonna be honest with you. The older you get, getting that that okay when you step out, so I'm like, oh damn, where you going? Shit, let them know it's still there, but yeah, let them know.
Hey, look,
I dress for reputation. Right, because when you see me, when you see me, it come with a certain level of je ne sais quoi. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're gonna see when your boy step on the scene, and that's what you can expect. So
that boy bilingual. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? In all seriousness, I do feel that way. Like I feel like I dress a reputation, right? Because when I step out, I'm gonna come correct. So that way, when there's an environment that may cause for me to be business casual, I'm gonna be that to the 10th degree. If it calls for me to be dressed down, I'm gonna be there to the 10th degree, right? So I think I dress more so for reputation.
Yeah, but I would say that reputation also goes into how clean your fit is versus what it is, if that makes sense. I think reputation can apply in that manner too. Like how well are you put together, even if, like you said, dressed up, dressed down. All right, y'all. I know y'all got the questions in the chat, man. We got to get to these topics of the night, y'all. Appreciate y'all tapping in tonight. Brittany and Jay bringing the vibes. We about to get into the topics of the night. Jay, Brittany, is y'all world.
All right. Britt, what's up now? How you feeling, partner?
I'm good.
Okay.
You want me to start?
Yeah, you can start the first one. I'll take the next one.
All right. The first question that we have for tonight is geared towards soulmates. Let me see how to word this correctly. Do you believe, not necessarily, okay, so do you believe in soulmates is the first part, and do you believe in the one, right? Because a lot of times people feel like they pass up the one to they settle or something happened, whatever it is. So do you believe in soulmates, and do you specifically believe that there is the one for everybody?
I can talk it. Shit, Joc, man, you the guest of the show, bro. I feel like you gonna have to go first every time, bro.
He just keep throwing the ball.
Hey, look,
I was trying not to
lob it to you,
got speaking it to you, though, bro.
I was trying not to do that, but yeah.
I'm a sucker for love. Like I'm telling you, like it's just how I was brought up. Like, so I believe in soulmates. I believe in the one. Like I believe, like I feel like when you locked in with somebody, I feel like everything is preordained from God. Everything has been written, no matter what. Like, so if I'm with someone and I've been with you for this long amount of time and we're good, like we're locked in, we're in love, like I do believe in soulmates in that sense, like because at the end of the day, when God decreed all this, you was gonna be mine anyway.
Amen.
You was gonna be mine anyway. So yes, for sure. Like
okay.
It was soulmates, and what was the other one?
Do you believe in the one?
Yes, I do. Yes, and I guess that ties in with the soulmates. Like I said, like just growing up, like I just remember like I've always been in tune with myself and uh my emotional capacity. My dad was like that. So my dad kind of ever since a young age, like my dad kind of lived vicariously through like music, like R&B music. Like so at like I remember we used to go on walks, and I was what all of 8 years old, and Donnell Jones just dropped the CD Where I Want to Be, and my dad used to play it on the radio while we was walking. Like that type of stuff right there, like that stuff I hold dear to me. Like, and that's probably why the reason where I'm more tuned into R&B music than I am any other type of music at this point. But like growing up, I lived vicariously through lyrics as well. Like I remember, like me and my wife, we joke about it all the time. I remember being 18 on AIM on a computer, and I got R&B music playing, and I'm writing her. Like we back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and just emotional, just emotions at that time and things like that. So,
You
like
was
me
you was
being a
sending
sucker
some
for,
with that R&B, was sending some nasty stuff on AIM, won't you, Bo?
hey, nah,
Talk about where I want to
look,
be at, nigga.
hey, look, this was, I mean, it was just a, just a mix of everything and whatnot. But I do believe in soulmates. I do believe in the one, like, and I don't believe your one has to come early, like being like, oh, I got to be with her since 18, or I don't believe in that. I believe somebody out there for everybody. That's how I feel. I believe in somebody out there for everybody, no matter how many relationships or situationships that you done went through. I believe in somebody out there that you gonna lock in with, and y'all gonna be tied in for, So yeah, for sure.
Before I ask the rest of the group, Joc, specifically for you, do you feel, what if the one is attached to somebody else, right?
Good
Like
Lord.
you said, God ordained
That's
some
crazy.
things. And no, but I mean, it happens, right? Like God ordained some things.
Yes.
But what if your one is with your best friend or your homeboy, and it's like, yeah, but I know that she's the one. What we doing?
Now, see, that's the thing. It's a lot that play into that, because it's like, if my one is attached to my friend or my homeboy or whatever, how I know that she the one? Are y'all speaking when y'all ain't supposed to be talking? And like what, like, because if we just in passing, and how am I gonna, like, I'm not gonna sit here and my homeboy, you're gonna be my homeboy girl, and then we'll be interacting, and I'm just like, dang, the way she like got me that cup of water out the fridge, it's like, oh my goodness, like she gotta be like, it's like, what are y'all doing on the back end? You feel what I'm saying? That has to go into that. Like, so being attached to somebody else, I don't know, that's insane. Now I can see you saying that if you felt like, if you was with somebody already and then y'all didn't work out, but they got with somebody else and you got with somebody else, and then now y'all backtracking and the feelings are back and stuff like that. That's a little bit different. But being attached to, you never been with them, being attached to somebody else, like I would think something else had to be going on in the back end for you to even, because how am I going to know that you're the one? Like, what conversations are we having if you attached to my guy? Like,
I think, Britt,
That's
you
good.
asked if they were attached to, like, who you say, your homeboy? That was wild. That was a little wild.
That's impressive.
I didn't want to say
Your soulmate or the one be attached to someone else, like, like the one that got away, that type of vibe. But not necessarily like your homeboy or like my homegirl or something like that. I definitely been soulmates. But I do believe that a lot of people have not met theirs, and a lot of people are with someone, but it's not the one.
Deep.
That's good,
So,
Prince.
I would say, I'm really sure, similar to what Prince has said. I do believe in it, but I don't think you always know it when you meet that person. Like it may come like you may cross paths, date a little bit, or you realize later, like, damn, because I think with the thing with soulmates and soul ties and stuff like that, you got to know what's good for you in order to know where that piece of the puzzle locks in at. So like, I think as you learn yourself, as you grow, it's easier to identify what you may have missed. That's where the one who get away come in. That
Right.
got away.
Mm-hmm.
Or you you can be with somebody, you learn and grow. You realize, like, damn, I'm glad that we made it through this because you really are my person.
Mm-hmm.
But it got to be some type of going through in there. I don't believe in like, oh, we met. You know what I'm saying? We met and like, yeah, you know what? You talk to my soul. Well, we got to talk a little more before I figure out if you talk to my soul. Nah, nah, you just look good to me right now. We got to figure the rest of that out.
Yeah.
All right, Asia.
I think to what Keenan just said, this idea of like soul ties, I think having soul ties confuses the idea of having a soulmate. Because I think people really believe that they have like met their soulmate or whatever the case may be, and I think it's just a soul tie, right? So I think that's a big part of it. And I also think that, but I do believe in soulmates, right? And then when I think about the one, I don't know where I stand on that, only because I do think that the one sometimes is like created, if that makes sense. Ugh, these thumbs. Lewis, stop. But I think that the one can sometimes be created, right? So for example, if you have somebody that, let's say, you grew up with or you were in college with, and you all spent a lot of time together and you both wanted to put in the work, I do believe that you can create your person. Because who's to say that your person's really not, or your soulmate is somewhere across the country and all the things, and you make life decisions, and I don't know. But I do think that when it comes down to like the one, I think sometimes that it's created along the way. And I think to Keenan's point, I think that is why, like in the beginning, you might not know because you haven't put in that work, right? And I think because for me, I think love is a choice, right? I think you choose every day that you want to continue to love this person, you want to continue to grow with this person, and as long as it remains mutual, excuse me, then I think that like you can create the one, if that makes sense.
Okay, good.
Lewis, before I go through these comments, you got something, brother?
Man, I agree with everything Asia just said.
Beautiful, beautiful. Matt said, I do believe in the one, but it could literally be anyone. Sensei, soulmates have to feed your soul. How do you feel how does it feel to have your soul fed? Queen filled it, said Badu said it. I guess in next life, if you get in that situation, it's dangerous.
Boy,
if you get in that situation, it's dangerous. You singing that Erica Badu.
Boy. Stop you from finding your wife.
Queen filmed it. Also said soulmates aren't always for a lifetime. They come in a certain season of your life where your soul needs to be needed that nourishment, and then it can move on. Okay, that's interesting.
I like that. I like that.
I like that.
Yeah, but I think that comment before you posted, I think this ties into what Asia was saying about soul ties. Like, I'm not sure if this is soulmate or a soul tie, right? Like, because it comes in, it feeds your soul, then you have a connection to that soul tie that you can reflect back to according to the experience, whether you learned from it, grew from it, moved on, whatever it is. I don't necessarily know if that's your soulmate. I'm difference of opinion.
I agree, Brett. Like, I feel like soulmates are forever.
Yeah.
Even if you guys separate for a reason, I feel like you still always in the back of your mind know that person is soulmate.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was good. That's
And the last one, and then you'll have your last soulmate, and that's the final phase of your soul journey, and y'all locked in until the end. Appreciate everybody tapping in with the comments tonight, man. Appreciate y'all. Right back to Jay and Brittany.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it rolling, man. The next one is as millennials, how do you guys feel about getting older? They look at us as the aunties and the unks.
I ain't crossed over yet, bro.
At 33, somebody calling you unk. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
You ain't 33.
Like as far as getting older as millennials, or do y'all feel like y'all in y'all prime right now?
I don't know. I feel like I'm just at a point where I'm accepting it with like grace. Like, it's just like I'm getting older. Life is going. I mean, I think you can get to a point where you can accept it with grace when you get out of the point of stop trying to like, like fit in like into a different bracket. Like I'm getting older. I like different things now. Like different things bring me a rush. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm worried about these type of business deals at this point, which I wasn't really worried about, being younger, right? I already got to a point where I made my due with like being out late, going to the clubs, strip club stuff like that. Like I already got to that point where I'm like, all right, I'm not there no more. Like I'm growing. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm just adjusting with it. Like I'm just taking it with grace and just trying to move forward and not really dwelling on what I didn't get done then, because I feel like it's no age limit to you getting it done, whether what it is, whether it's your dreams, your goal, whatever it may be, it's no age limit to you getting it done. So just growing and accepting it with grace. Like I think that's how I'm coping with everything.
Okay. Okay. Princess. Auntie.
I think more than anything, my nieces and nephews put it in perspective, my age, for sure. I'm the baby of like my siblings, and like me and my sisters are like they had a 777. So my oldest sister's 14 years older than me. My oldest nephew's 25. We're about to be 25 next month. And so sometimes, like, I'll give y'all an example. My niece was braiding my hair a couple months ago, and she was like, Auntie, who you think is more famous, Trina or Cash Doll?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Girl, what? Like, the fact that you fix your lips to ask me that question tells me that you're 21. Like,
yeah.
And in that moment, I just felt so old. Like I literally felt like an auntie. Like, what kind of question is asking me?
Yeah, for sure. I feel you. I'm gonna be quick, man. I'm getting older. I don't feel old, and I think it's the field I work in. Like I'm in education with young people all the time, so I'm kind of hip to like younger culture. But I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like we're absolutely getting older. Like I ain't no denying that. But to feel old, I just personally for myself, I don't feel old. And I'm gonna be real. I like the things I got access to now that I didn't have in my 20s, so I can actually do what I want now. Like when you young and you doing all this stuff, it's fun and cool, but like speaking for myself, I didn't have it to actually enjoy it like I can now and understand what's happening now. So I think the intentionality behind what comes with age is cool. Like, yeah, but so I feel older. I don't feel old. We working in our prime years. If to answer your question, Jay.
Yeah, that's all I was about to say. Does anybody feel like they're in their prime? Like
definitely.
Right now?
I feel like I do feel like I'm in my prime in my thinking, my thinking, and then paired with my physical. I don't feel like I'm limited physically right now, right? So I still have some of my youth and my function and my ability to get up and do things, right? And I'm not, restricted. And then I feel like my mind is there. I feel like the access to things and the resources that I have are available where nothing is out of reach, right? And I think the great thing is I feel like I could go in any room and fit in, right? I could go in the younger rooms, I could go in the older rooms, I could go into the middle age, rooms as well. And I feel like I can fit in. I feel like we're in that phase in our generation where we can, go in and work interchangeably. So I think that's a blessing. The thing that I will say that gives me perspective though is there's a cost to getting older. When you're younger, you think about your life in the way that you want it. And I thought about my life now and all the things that I had, but I didn't think that it would happen the way that it did. I thought there would be more people that aren't here anymore, right? It doesn't look like I thought it would look. You know what I'm saying? Like, the older you get, the more death you see, unfortunately. Like that's the cost of getting old. Like no one tells you that, flat out. And then, I think also seeing my position in my family shift too, right? Like you go from being just the kids and then you get a little older, you like the adult kids, but now it's like, nah, you guys are now going to be decision makers, right? Now you guys are hosting family events. Like you know, kind of seeing that shift take place too. And it's like, oh, we're really responsible for all this stuff now. So that part of getting older is, and that reality setting in is, you know, it's been the last 2 years, but that's been kind of a real thing for me. Like, oh, okay, it's not like I'm just an adult kid anymore. Like, we're really the backbones of our family now.
Yeah.
I just bought a sweatshirt that says auntie on it. I am fully embracing this era. I really am, because I think that I get a different experience also because I'm not married and I don't have any kids. Right. And so like I really do think that I get a different space in that. And so like it's so funny because like hearing like me say things that like my parents say, like I have like younger clients and they'll say things like regular conversation and I'm finding myself saying, wait, what does that mean? Wait, but I thought that was that. Like it is crazy because they're looking at me like, and I look young for my age to them. And so like, what? You're not like 21? It's like, no, I'm not. Thank you. Right. Or even thinking about like there was I love Abbott Elementary, right? And they have an opening scene this past season, or the season that they're currently in. And in like the opening scene, the kids, they're like, oh yeah, like they're talking about like a Millie, and they're like, oh yeah, I love that. That's such a classic. And like Umbrella, and they're like, yeah, what? And then Gregory, he's like, classic, like what are y'all talking about? And one of the girls, she's like, no, my mama plays this on Saturdays when she's cleaning.
Oh my gosh.
And in that moment, I kid you not, I was like, oh my gosh, like they're not listening to what we listened to growing up to clean on Saturdays. It's literally Rihanna and Lil Wayne to clean on Saturdays. That's insane. So that for me is like, yeah, we getting older, but I love it. I really do. And I understand also while my dad, he's getting older, but sometimes he acts like a kid, or I'm like, Dad, how old are you? He's like, honestly, I don't feel my age. Like I still feel young at heart. And I get that now because I don't feel, you know. It's cool.
I feel like the best part of getting older is like you kind of know the weight of your decisions either way it go, so it's easier to make them.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I'm about to do this, and I know what come with it, but I'm about to do it because I understand how to navigate that next part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think adulthood, 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
Not the biggest fan, but I'm here. I'm gonna go against the grain. I agree with everything you guys said. I don't feel old, but getting old is ghetto. It's funny. My husband and I just had a conversation literally yesterday. We were like, damn, our kids, by the time that our kids are our age and we get to experience, you know, them get married and have their kids, we'll be grandparents, but our parents will prayerfully, they'll still be here, but at some point they gotta go. Right. And then like life transitions in those phases. And then it's our turn. And then we got to go. And then they got to be. That part is scary to me. If I'm going to be 100% that. I know I'm not supposed to fear certain things, but that trickles a little bit of fear in terms of we're really like climbing that threshold of getting closer to those ages. So even when birthdays come around, before it was like, oh yeah. Now it's like, yo, we're one step closer to the promised 70. You know, like yes, we're still celebrating life, but it's different. Like we're really halfway there if we really think about it. So I don't know. I have a different perspective on life. You know, I try my best to kind of push through and celebrate it while we all are here. But as far as millennials getting old, we are definitely the aunties and uncles, and we are cleaning to some of those tunes now. But it's also the other side of that of like, okay, what legacies are we leaving for our children? What are we, you know, the ones that have children, or what are we looking forward to leave here on our own? Or what are we building? Where are career paths? What is like all of that in your brain when before all we cared about is what time the movie started, who was kissing who, spin the bottle, all of that like it really puts things in perspective. Like we're really getting old. We don't do those things anymore. Those times have passed. So it's, I don't know. I'm like in between. Sometimes I'm excited about where we are, but other times I'm a little sad that I want to rewind time a little bit and go back to being useful.
Yeah. Don't overwhelm yourself. He was laying it out there. I have one analogy, real quick. Just one analogy I want to share.
Damn, damn. No, I'm just messing with you, bro. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Lewis.
Go ahead, Lewis. Go ahead.
When I used to watch The Lion King, I used to think about myself as Simba. But now when I watch The Lion King, I think of myself as Mufasa.
Ooh,
that shows the difference, right? In where I transition in my mentality. Because before when I was a kid, I watched that movie through the eyes of a kid. But now I watch that movie through the eyes of a father.
That was deep. That'll preach.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Voulez-vous coucher à la soir? You know.
Yeah, man. I don't want to break up all that diesel with ignorance, man. So that was a good way to.
Oh my gosh.
But honestly, real quick though, I embrace the auntie era thing. We are getting older. One thing I am grateful for though, being a millennial, is that we have a lot of access to a lot of things right now. So a lot of information, a lot of different people, and like you said, Lewis, we can go in these different rooms now, and you can be with the younger crew, and especially with me. The hardest thing for me, contrary to popular belief, is DJing for younger kids. Man, trying to get a playlist together for them, I don't know why. I'm like, I don't understand the music. I don't know who this is, what's going on. But I mean, I know we have to adapt to that. Mm-hmm. But I was riding in the car with my daughters the other day, and we was listening to Pop, How Do You Want It? And she was like, oh, Daddy, you be on TikTok. And I'm like, bro,
that's
what?
Crazy. Yeah. Yep.
That feel old because I'm like, bro, you registered this from TikTok. I'm like, no, I grew up on this. Like, what are you talking about?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Were you listening to the clean version? I just gotta ask, which version was you listening to?
Yeah, it was the clean version. Okay. Hey, Louis,
you know damn well, Jay ain't got nothing clean in his phone, man. Come on, man.
Damn,
Hit it, motherfucker. I'm telling y'all.
In the car, my daughter's listening to Tupac and
Hey, I bet you they was cussing together.
Yup. I was dapper too. Hey, come on, bro. Don't do that, bro.
Hey Jay, you remember that time we was at that New Year's party? And Jay is an a-hole. So this was not a clean version. We were young. And all the kids was in there dancing junk. So and Jay was like, watch, I'm gonna pause it when the cuss words come on and watch all the kids be cussing. Boy, they was in there singing a song, they paused it. They said every MFer in that sentence that came with it, boy, all of them. That's back when we was young and ignorant, man.
Yeah, listen though.
That's the one you was at. Yeah.
When I was at. I remember
that's the one you was at. Exactly. That one you was at. Yep.
But it was wild in there, boy.
They were.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
yeah.
Go ahead,
back
Britt,
to y'all, Jay and Brittany.
Okay. You want to take this one, Britt?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
I do want to, Kenny, can you, I see a comment here about some of us with no kids.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay. Oh, some of us with no kids can feel like it's old because our peers chose to do older shit early on. We can also feel certain remorse for the freedom we still have that others don't. That's real.
That's real.
That's super real.
Could somebody explain that? The remorse for the freedom they still have that others don't. What do you mean?
Like it. So this is what please correct me if I am misinterpreting what she's saying. She's saying like because one may not have kids and they're able to still do things, they feel remorse because others have kids and they're getting older, so they feel bad that like they're in a different place at the same age.
Bad for the people who have kids or bad for myself?
That's what I was saying. Who's the remorse for?
Yeah.
I think the remorse is
Go ahead.
I think the remorse is for the person that has the kids. So yeah. I guess that she's feeling like, because some people be like, I can't do X, Y, and Z because I got the kids, So and then you got somebody who don't have kids and they just out there living their best life and things like that. So some people could feel like, dang, like I wish she could be out with me or he could be out with me or whatever, but they got to go to the kids' practices or do this or do X, Y, and Z. So I think that's what she's saying. Like she's kind of trying to empathize if the person is feeling like that. Because some people, with kids do feel like they're trapped and things like that. Some people feel like that.
Yeah. Drop them off. And never mind. Let me not say that.
What? Say it.
No, I really can't say it. You know, another thing. No, I'm just saying. Go ahead, bro. I just say. Also, I think grandparents of this era look different. As
they totally different.
Becoming auntie and uncles, grandparents look different now.
100%.
So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna leave that there.
That's true.
They're a lot younger too.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna leave that there.
No, let's unpack that.
Nah.
Were we the last generation to be raised by their grandparents for the most part?
I think we the last generation. You about to see. Then you know what leaves something there mean, Lewis? What I think is we the last generation that actually. I think our parents was the last generation that actually implemented family structure with primary, secondary, and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's pushed as much now. It's like we say we love our parents. I see so many millennials. I hate this too. Like you don't trust your kids with your parent or your sibling. Like what? That's crazy.
But don't you think that that's some? Sorry, are we unpacking something? But don't you think this due to some of our choices too? Because many of us don't live near our. Like Asia's not where her family. I'm not near my family. You're not near your family. Yeah. Like a lot of us have we're not to leave the nest as much as maybe other generations were.
Yeah, but I don't get. Okay, so I understand what you're saying, but tell me, what I'm saying.
Our kids don't. Our kids don't grow up with those same values because of proximity. Sometimes it's not even about a culture.
I know millennial parents.
Yeah, that's good.
But Lewis, what I'm saying is, I know millennial parents where they put in a brother or parent or they parent or they trusted person through a whole like range of questions. Like you don't trust this person for your kids to be with them. That's crazy to me, dog.
So I want to say something to that though, right? Like, and once again, I'm not trolling tonight, but I am thinking the opposite way that everybody else is tonight on purpose.
Trolling.
Just to give us perspective. Yeah, something like that. Something like that, just classy.
Yeah.
But like for instance, I think that so much has happened though and I'm gonna speak on trauma for a second, real quick. I think so many traumatic incidences have happened with folks in our generation and nobody talked about it. We still had to be around certain family members that were creepy. We still had to like do all these things. And I really think that because of that whole thing, I think that folks in our generation are now like, I'm not letting what is happening?
You're speaking. That's perfect. Go ahead.
I'm not letting my kid go around anybody because I want to make sure that my kid is safe. I really do think that's a part of it. I think that I think it for some people, I think it comes down to like trauma that people had to face in silence by family members. And so those cousins that you used to rock with, it's like, yeah, wait a minute. I'm not trusting my kid with anybody. So I really think that's a big part of it.
Respect, Asia, and I'm not trying to be long-winded, but I really think this conversation deserves respect. But like as the parent, you weed those people out. They're not on the docket to watch my kids anyway. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm saying the people we deem that we trust. I've seen people deem. Say again.
No, I was just gonna say. Oftentimes, it happens with the people who you trust.
I'm not trying to be. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Saying that the people that they trust. Can you elaborate a little bit more, Keenan?
I get what they're saying, but I think I understand what they're saying. They're saying like research shows this. I know in therapy, like a lot of times people experience that with a trusted adult that they were left with that they were supposed to be protected by. Right. And what I'm saying is there's always a gamble. Nothing's one-sided, right? But like I'm gonna use the people on the screen. Like if I had to leave my kids with Jay, like I'm just not worried about that.
Right.
If I had to leave my kids with Lewis, I'm not worried about that. If I had an inkling of that, then no, they're not even on the docket at all. And the other side of that is kids were being supervised in moments and times where they shouldn't have been. Meaning like your parent working 2-3 jobs and you're never home to actually protect them. We experienced that too. Yeah. But I think being a key latch kid helped. I think it helped mature us. I think that's what's wrong with a lot of kids now. They don't fight on the bus no more. They get dropped off at school. You know what I'm saying? They don't fight at school. You need to ride the bus. You need to slap somebody.
Yeah.
All them experiences, bro. I'm being real. I'm being real. If you look back at it, how you came up,
Hey,
I bet you it matured you and made you ready. Like you learn how to interact with people. You learn what you could and couldn't do. You learn like, oh, I'm not going over there. You learned all those things. Now we protect them.
I blame the parents though. I really do blame parents. I blame the parents, and I'm only saying that because, like, for instance, like with my dad, who was raised in the hood, all he knew was I never get anytime we go to a new school. Now look, if you need to figure out who the biggest one is, and make sure that you good. Don't let nobody mess with you, because for him that was his mentality going into it. But now you have millennial parents, right, who then decided my kid's gonna have a better life than I do. They're not then teaching their kid, okay, yeah, when you get to school, you're gonna have to da 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 da. It's the whole idea of like, I want my kid to have a better life than I did. And so like the cycle, it becomes like so that's why I'm saying I blame parents for when their child is not well-rounded in those spaces. That's all I'm saying.
It's also society too. It's also society. We live in a soft era. Listen, as millennial parents, we can tell our kids whatever. Currently dealing with bullying right now. Yo, never mind. I forgot I'm online. But yeah, that part, right? But if I say that and she goes to school and does that, then it's calls to the house. You got CPS at your home. You got all these different crazy things. You can't even say certain things anymore without people getting offended. And I think that has I feel like millennial parents have fallen right into the gap of like holding on to what we were taught, but then switching gears into this soft era that the generation after us has no choice but to follow because they've been doing it. This gentle parenting era. That's where I feel like millennial parents, seriously, that we are. So then, yeah, it does go back to the choices of parenting, but also we trying to keep up with society and not get reprimanded for the things that we want to implement in our kids.
Oh well,
every generation goes
through that. Hey Brent, I feel you with what you're saying. I'm more so like how my parents was with me. Like I tell my son 14, my daughter 7. I tell my son, nobody can put you in trouble besides me. So if you have an issue there, if somebody's bullying you, anything in school, turn up on them. I don't care about none of that. Like just how I am. Like nobody, and I'll deal with their dad. I'm quick to deal with somebody's dad. I deal with a father quick with the quickness. I deal with the dad, like, because you should have raised your son correctly. So now you got to deal with me. So yes, I guess you can get to a point where you like, because there's a lot of stipulations in place where CPS and things like that. But I need to, because he's growing up differently in a different environment. And me at 12, 13 years old, we used to walk from the neighborhood all the way down to the pool. That was like an hour, like you with other 12-year-olds, like, but he don't do that because I'm more cautious with a lot of things that's going on now. But so I have to implement that in him verbally and let him know, like, and show him different things. Like, look, if you get into a situation, and yes, if they're the aggressor, turn up. I'm not worried about dealing with your teacher. I'll take you out of homeschool you. You really want to get technical, I'll take you out the prison that you in now in school and then homeschool you. I'm not really, like, that's a different conversation. But at the end of the day, like, do what you got to do. Like, recently, my daughter, my son, he plays football. So the school my daughter goes to, he can't go to because there's no football team there. Like, football is like what we do. Like, and my daughter, she's in like a predominantly white school, and it's a nice school, and she got a lot of friends and stuff like that. But it's certain things that, like when something happens in school with another young child that's in the freaking second grade, then my mind start going, and I'm like, wait, was this done this way or this done this way? So I gotta breathe that life into her too, to let her know, like, look, you got to take care of what you got to take care of too. Like, because a lot of these kids, especially when you coming from privileged households, a lot of these kids, they act a certain way and they feel like they can act a certain way. You see it, they act a certain way with the teachers, they act a certain way with their parents when you out at events with them. So of course they're going to act a certain way with your, with your child. So I definitely let my kids know, like, do what you need to do to get done what you need to get done, like, and with parameters on it and things like that. But other than that, especially with my son, him just being in, about to go in high school and stuff like that, it's like, bro, it's a dog eat dog world out there. Like, everything ain't just cool, and like, you got to deal with him with certain conversations where, oh, the girl don't. I tell a girl, like, I'm not dating. I'm worried about football and things like that, and she's texting me nonstop, and I see this stuff, little things like that, bothering my son. I'm about to. Where's your dad? So I can talk to your dad, because you should be worried about something else. Like, you should worry about something. He just told you in a text that I seen in his phone that he can't date. Oh, your dad don't have to find out. No, my dad not playing that. We not doing that. Like, he's telling you this. This is how I got him. He's telling you this. So you still going, and you like, oh, well, we could just, no, bro. Like, where's your parents at? Like, you you being brought up differently. I understand that. Like, everybody raised their kids differently. Like, but like, when it comes to certain things, I gotta talk to my son, because, like I said, I have to speak that life into him, because he's not going through the same life and the same upbringing that I went through. Like, we was fighting. We was always fighting. We was brawling. It was one school against another school. Like, we catch you on a bus. We like that's just how it was. Like, but with him, it's different. Plus, we in a different environment than we were in Jersey anyway. But I mean, still, like, so I'm just, I get the fact that everything got to come with parameters. Where it's like, don't do too much, don't do this, don't do that. Like, but I'm just like, look, do what you got to do to get done what you need to get done. Don't overdo it. But this is and I let him know, look, this is your levels. Like, you meet this with this, like, you meet this force with this type of force. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, don't be, and that's just something, because me growing up from where I'm from in the hood, you always want to go to the next level. Like, I want to take it there with you. Like, but when I became a cop, it was different. Like, it was like, yo, you meet this force with this force. Like, and it made so much logical sense. Like, so, but when I came there, I was ready. Like, it didn't matter, because who I was. It was like, if you take it there with me, I'm going all the way. So you might as well just go. You might as well just go there all the way, because that's where I'm going. But with him, with both of them, I try to tell him, like, look, this warrants this. You feel me? Like, this warrants this. No matter how mad you are, this warrants this. Like, because we still would have to deal with it on, on the back end with a legal issue and stuff like that. So I'm like, look, this warrants this. And if they're not really doing this, you ain't really got to do this or whatever. Ignore this or do this and stuff like that. So, yeah.
For sure. We got a couple of comments. It's a gap in millennials upbringing as well. Like, I'm 31, my parents are 70, my peers' parents are like 40, 45 to 50. It's a mix in our upbringing as well. Sensei, we need not to gentle parent, but parent correctly. Let's not be bad examples, but positive ones, if that's what we want them to be, but encourage safety. Said like Sensei himself.
That's such a Sensei response.
That is definitely
love it.
With you, brother.
Meanwhile,
gentle parenting works with gentle kids, though. That's it. I agree with that. A lot of people,
gentle, man.
A lot of people say, I agree with this. A lot of people say that I don't want my kids to grow up how, A lot of people say I don't want my kids to grow up how they did, but we turned out great. It's the switching up the blueprint that causes the disruption in the next generation's upbringing. I wholeheartedly agree. And I would say a point to like what Asia said earlier. Asia, I wasn't saying like my son needs to be on, like, I'm gonna move across town so he gets on a certain bus. But whatever school he at, if they have a bus, you getting on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your ass on that bus, man.
I agree.
I don't know, man. I somewhat disagree.
I mean, we not cool. Tell me why.
Because I thought Brittany was talking, so I stopped. Smart ass. The reason why is that I think, like, people say that to me all the time, like, "Oh, you went through all you went through, and look at how you turned out."
Oh, you talking about disagree with that?
I think with that point, because I think sometimes some of that stuff we didn't have to go through, right? Because it motivated me, but to what cost? Right now, I have the things that and accelerated my life, but now I have all this mental and emotional damage. Now I'm trying to raise a son, and I'm insecure about it because I didn't have the example to pull from. You know what I'm saying? So I think some of those things that I don't think you totally remove struggle from your kids, which is I think the points that you're making, Keenan. I don't think you totally remove struggle. You do it. You let them struggle, but you you are and you should be removing some of those barriers and obstacles that you had. And I think some of the things that I would criticize my parents on, even to this day, like, you could have just told me what you were trying to teach me. I don't feel like the generation we had educated us on what they were trying to teach us or the lessons that they were trying to give. Like, some things don't have to be experienced full on. Maybe I went through that so you didn't have to go through that, Coach JC. Maybe I went through that to show you how to navigate that in the event that it happened.
So, and I'm gonna be responsible really quickly to clarify something. Mm-hmm. Yes, you fight on the bus and stuff, but what the point I was making was like that thing also makes you responsible. Learn how to wake yourself up, get ready on time to get out the door, to lock the door, to get on the bus and be where you're supposed to be at. There's much more to it than just like socializing on the bus or what happens there. Now, I think the thing is, when you say struggle, I think there's struggle being everywhere you're at. And I think we remove them, we put them in nice neighborhoods and buy homes to make sure they're good, but there's still a struggle there that they need to experience. We can't eliminate everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like how much of that can be taught though, but how much of that stuff, how much of those lessons that we experience head on can be taught? You know, some of them can, some of them can't. Like, how many of those can be done through education rather than experience?
But I think I'm with you.
We gotta get ready. We gotta get ready to move out to Asia. Go ahead.
Okay, Louis, I completely agree with your point, right? I think you also have to take into account like your child, because there's so many things that I'm thinking back and I'm like, my dad did try to teach me this, or my mother definitely tried to tell me, and I was not listening. And it took for me to go through certain things to be like, that's definitely my mother. She already tried to teach me that, right? But it took me forever to learn it on my own because of, at the time I was just too immature to like really.
That was a great point. That's the best point made tonight about that. That's good.
Yeah, that was a great.
We locked in.
I'm with you. It's the kid. No, it's the kid. And because I have two, I agree with that.
Hey, Asia's the last person talking, Louis. So y'all know Jay. She's the last person, bro. No, man. Damn.
So look. I'm glad you said it because that made me think of something. It's not on script, but I really want to ask everybody. So, real quick, now that you said that, Asia, if you guys had a chance to go back to your younger version of yourself, what would you tell yourself?
Slap him harder.
Keenan, good night, man.
Nah, bro, I'm gonna be honest, man. I appreciate my upbringing, bro. Like, I think there was struggle in it. I just think my mom did the best with what she had. I'm satisfied. Okay. I really am, bro. Like, I really don't regret much of my upbringing, bro.
No, not regret. Any advice, like you being yourself now, what advice would you give a younger version of yourself?
Financial literacy for me. My dad didn't know it, but he knew the resources and he tried to give them to me. And I thought it was like, it didn't matter because I was young. So for me, I think it would be taking financial literacy more serious when I was younger, for sure.
Man, my grandfather tried to teach me. My dumb ass ain't listen.
Yeah. I would say for me, just believe in yourself. It's gonna happen. Just believe in yourself. It's gonna happen. That's what I would say.
Okay. Princess?
I would probably say I would have bet on myself more at a earlier.
Okay. I love that.
Okay.
I will be a lot further than what I am right now, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolute respect on that.
I love that, Princess.
Hey, how early would you have betted on yourself looking back?
What'd you say?
How early would you have betted on yourself looking back? Like starting betting on yourself at what age?
For sure, when I graduated from college.
Respect.
Like, there were certain decisions that I made that I wish I could take back, but I can't. Like, for one, in college, I preferred to work during the summer, so I chose not to do an internship because money was like, my mom was a single parent. So for me, working in the summers was a priority for me so I could have spending money, so I wouldn't have to ask my mom for things. But because of that, a lot of internships were unpaid. So like, I gave that up when really me as a child, the internship should have been the priority. So like things like that. And then also like before I graduated from college, I was in a program called Go Hire. And it was like the lady who was over the program was trying to set me up to get an HR position straight out of college, but I would have had to relocate. And I was like, absolutely not. And then what did I do? Like a year later, I moved across the country for a relationship like a dumbass. Like, why would you not bet on yourself, you know what I mean, and go straight into your career straight out of college when someone's giving you the opportunity, but yet you move across the country for a man. And then it took me a little longer to get where I am today in HR when I could have been there, you know, quicker if I would have betted on myself straight out of college.
You still doing it though, Princess.
You killing it at a high level too.
Princess, that was very powerful.
Shout out to you, girl.
I got to piggyback off Princess real quick. I got to piggyback off Princess. I would have definitely betted on myself ASAP, like, because I was always so resourceful. It was ridiculous. Like I was always the one that was like, if I wanted to get it done and it cost too much to get it done, whatever, I could figure it out. Like, that's how I am now. And I feel like I second guessed myself a lot just growing up. And if I didn't do that and betted on myself, I'd have been, who knows? God knows, I'd have been somewhere else. Like,
so absolute respect. I didn't know we could go to that part of you. I just would have let go of people, places, and things a lot sooner.
Okay.
If we can go to like college, I would have let go of people, places, and things a lot sooner.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
I would have been myself sooner. I would literally tell myself, be yourself. I struggled with identity crisis for a long time throughout middle school, high school, because I went to the privileged schools. And the Black kids always were like, you didn't struggle enough. You're not Black enough. You're not from the hood. Why you talk like that? You know, so I found myself trying to code switch constantly. And it wasn't until I became older and found the value in myself and what I brought to the table, it's brought me to where I am today. So I would have definitely said, be yourself the entire way through.
Salute, for sure.
There's a theme.
It is. Listen to yourself, be yourself, for real. Salute. Jay and Brittany, y'all want to get into fair or foul? Y'all want to do y'all last question? It's either or.
No, we could do fair or foul, but I do want to give Jay an opportunity to answer the question too. He asked everybody.
Oh yeah. Well, it will be the same as y'all. Just bet on myself. I had a problem growing up. I think it was just the people I was around. I used to dim my light a lot. Like people used to be like, oh man, you think you perfect, you think you this, you think you that. And it used to make me shrink myself to kind of fit in that environment. And now I realize like, nah, I wasn't trying to be better than those people. I was just more advanced in my environment I was in. And I wish I would have known that sooner, because I would probably be further in life than where I am now.
Yeah.
Jay, you still more advanced than those people.
Yeah.
Heck
for sure.
yeah.
I appreciate it.
Hey, when Jason tell me stuff like that, I'm like, they be like, oh, you think you smart? You just be like, Jay, you think you know everything? I'm like, Jay, just say I don't know everything, bro. I know more than you though. Like, tell them, like, bro, no, that because let's get into this fair foul. Let's get into this fair foul.
We're about to go down a whole nother path.
All right, Joc. So we do this thing on Monday Night Crew called Fair or Foul. I'm going to give you a statement. We're going to go around the room first. We'll go around the screen. We'll start with you, say if it's fair or is it foul, and then we'll get into the conversation. So, fair or foul, telling a lie to protect your peace, big or little. Is that fair or is that foul?
That's fair. Telling a lie to protect your peace for sure.
Lewis?
Fair.
Asia?
No, wait. Telling a lie to protect your peace.
Whether the lie is little or big, is that fair or foul?
I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm gonna say it's foul.
Okay, Jay?
Extremely fair.
Okay, Brittany?
I'm gonna say fair.
Princess?
It's fair.
Let's go, Princess.
Yeah. I'm not yet. I'm really on the cusp a little bit. I think it's fair though, because I think if I'm protecting my peace, the conversation with the truth ain't worth it with you.
That's right.
Like, but Joc, I'm gonna circle back to you, brother. Tell me why you pick fair.
I mean, I'm big on peace. It's my peace. Like, I'm protecting it by any means necessary. So whatever I need to do to protect my peace, because at the end of the day, I have to sit with myself. You don't have to sit with me. You feel what I'm saying? So when I crash out and drain mentally, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't worried about that. Like, so why am I going to worry about telling you this little lie or this big lie just to protect my peace? Like, I'm chilling. Yeah, nah.
For sure.
Don't be thinking age.
That's until your piece is disrupted because that lie come back and bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a thing though. If I'm trying to protect my peace from you, that lie probably ended our friendship anyway. Like, yeah, bro, you know what? I'm changing my number, bro. Like, yeah, bro, you can't call this number no more. Block.
It's a great point. I got to get off the phone. I got to go, so.
Yeah, done. Like, yeah, you. Asia, did you just wave by to him?
Yeah. He said he had to go.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, he was saying like Lion said, I got to get off the phone.
Hey, she was like,
because y'all know how Lewis do at the end of the night. He be gone.
Yeah.
So I thought this was one of those times.
I think the only instance I will say this though. The only instance I perceive that is foul is if someone is asking you something that you're not being honest about to set that boundary. That's the only way I feel like it's foul. If I gotta come up with the lie because I gotta do it, so like, hey, bro, like man, I got something to do that weekend. Damn, that's crazy because I don't want to hang with you. That's one thing. But if you ask me something and I rock with you in any facet, I owe it to you to be honest about that thing. If you ask me. Now, if I just got to lie, look like, nah, you know what, bro? I just don't lie about funerals and sickness. I learned that about calling out. Like, because calling out is protecting your peace. Damn, man. That's protecting your peace, man. PTO. The P in PTO is peace. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Jay, hey, y'all remember them Carmack days? Hey, damn, bro. Jay, you got me, bro? Jay,
yeah, I got
you got me, bro. Let me tell y'all real quick. Story. Jay used to work so crazy. Any day I was off, I'm like, bro, I'm about to get my shift to Jay, boy. I know. Hey, Jay, man, what you doing tomorrow? Nothing, bro. What you need? Hey, bro, you trying to work? Yeah. Boy, I ain't doing nothing. Jay's taking all my hours, boy. You can have them. Hey, you don't get in trouble?
Jay was happy about that job.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
That joker came to work in some fresh phone posits one day. I was like, hey, Jay.
Hey, come on.
You ain't got work shoes? Some $200 shoes to work, man. At my line, bro.
Nah, you're not lying, bro.
He's like, you need some little phone posits. He's like, take your shit, nigga. Give them to me.
Yeah. I got these off your shit, bro.
Yeah,
hey, that time you tried to guilt trip me, he was like, bro, you doing all this working hard for an extra $53?
Come on, man. You had to say that, bro. Come on, dog. Yeah. Hey, chill, man. Chill.
I was like, bro, come on, man. Chill, bro.
Chill.
Oh, crazy today.
Yeah, but anybody got anything else on the fair foul of protecting your peace or why you would be willing to lie on to protect your peace?
I want to hear what Asia was going to say. Why she said it was foul.
Really, because I was on the fence and I figured everybody else would say fair. So I said, you know what, I told you I'm just throwing a wrench and stuff tonight. But really, partially from what Keenan said, though, and I'm going to be honest with y'all, even when it's small stuff, like let's say the PTO thing, I really get convicted. Like real life, the Lord will be like, really, that's what you're going to lie about? You could have easily just said, because sometimes even when we think about, let's say like PTO, for example, in the moment, sure, it might feel like peace, but also it's like, why did I not feel empowered to actually say that, hey, I need to take a day off? Why was that not enough? Why was it not enough for me to just say what my truth is and let that be that? Why can't my truth be linked to my peace? Right? So for me, it's like because there are also sometimes too, like, yes, it can be. Well, I guess for me, it has been, because at first I would and I would lie about it, but over time I would get convicted. So I would just stop lying about it.
The question is, why would you put yourself in an environment where you couldn't tell that truth?
I agree with that. And I think at our big age now, that plays a factor into where you work at. Like if I got to take time off, I just got to take it off.
For sure.
Now, but when we younger and we stand out at 6 o'clock and got to go to work at 8, a lot got to come into play.
I got it real quick. I know we're locked.
You good.
I just need maybe 2 or 3 opinions on this. What if, hey, yo, this is crazy. What if you find yourself, let me word this correctly. What if you find yourself, okay, you're in a relationship, right? And y'all really into each other. You love this person, blah, blah, blah. They find out something about you, but you know that if you tell the truth, you can possibly lose this person, but they will never find out the truth any other way. So it's to protect the peace in the relationship. Is it still fair game?
Yeah, I'm lying.
Is it lying? Are you saying that they actually ask you, or is it just information that you have not told?
It's something that you found out, that you heard on the street. They asked you about it, and you need to protect the peace in that relationship. They'll never find out the truth. Are you going to lie to them or tell them?
Hold on, I found out something about them.
You find you with a girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
They find out something about you off the street. They go to you and ask you, "Hey, I heard you was with such and such."
Oh, yeah. What?
What we
But
doing?
what is this something though? Is this something like you just heard I was with somebody before? Like, what is this something though?
Well, that's another question. I guess if it's something that can hurt the relationship, that can interrupt the peace in that relationship.
The only thing that should be able to that should be interrupting the peace in our relationship, if it's something like that, that got to be something I'm doing currently, or I done did currently while I was with you, or something like that.
That's fair.
Because if you just going,
that's fair.
Because if you just going to be like something in the past is the past. You want to know, because I was that type of guy that when I got in a relationship with my wife, I was like, I want to know everything. What happened before? What happened? I need lay it out for me, because I'm that type of person. Like I don't want to ever have to cross paths or be out and then something just hit me. Lay it out for me, like. And then it got to a point, especially when I was 18, well, it'd be like, where the light at? Interrogation. I need to know what's going on, what went on. You feel me? Like, because I'm willing to answer those same questions. Like, look, this was this was that, whatever. But I mean, if it's something that could hurt the relationship currently, then it has to be something that you've been doing currently. But in the past, if y'all good, then it's like, bro, that's the past. You good.
But bro, I don't feel like you can control that though. That's why I feel like the danger is in that.
That's true too. That's true too.
I
guess you can only assume of that somebody could be like, you can assume and be like, all right, she'd be grown about it, or he'd be grown about it, but they're human, so their feelings are not invalid, so they're gonna feel how they're gonna feel. Like, so yeah, you're right.
Yeah. What if she like, what if you found out you was with one of her friends and you just found out that they was friends, and then she hear that and you got to answer that and it's in the past? I'm not doing that.
No. I never seen it.
Hey Jay, you know what story I want to go down the bag of about that lie, Joe, but I ain't gonna do it, bro.
What?
Let me tell you, man. When in doubt, let them call Jay. Jay, I don't know what y'all talking about. There's a picture right there with you, Jay. Like,
man, I'll be see you standing right there beside. I don't know who that is. Who is that?
Hey, come on.
Hey, look, you gotta sell it too. Hold on, let me see that. Hold on. What? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, man, appreciate everybody tapping in tonight, man. Major salute to you, Joc. Appreciate you coming through, man. Giving some of your time on this Monday night, vibing with us, man. Salute. If you want to, man, tell everybody where they can find you at on IG and things of that nature.
All social media at WolfgangJoc, WOLFGANGJOC. I appreciate y'all. This was super dope. Like, this was look. See, I rock with Britt, so I was on her podcast. What was it like? Was it like 2 years ago, 3 years ago? What was it, Britt?
2020.
Oh, godly, 2020, right? And so she been trying to link back up with me for a little minute, and I've been BSing. So this right here was like super duper dope. I appreciate y'all having me for sure.
For sure, brother. So, man, it's your boy K.Mims, man. I got the ladies that showed Miss Princess Brittany and Asia. My bro DJ J Dub, Louis B, special guest Joc tonight, man. We are the Monday Night Crew, and we are out.